Hello children. In this class we will discuss value education lesson 5. In our previous class we have discussed lesson 4. The value tour is importance of right surroundings. Warming up. How important are your surroundings? Do you realize that the kind of surroundings in which you live have an impact on you? Have you ever felt it? Read the story to find out more. So dear children, the value toward is importance of right surroundings. Let us read out a story. Once there lived two parrots in a forest. They were very good friends. They grew up together. They also could talk. It was time to build a nest. They asked each other the place they should build their nest. So once there lived two parrots. There were two parrots in a forest. They were very good friends and they grew up together. They also can talk each other. It was time to build a nest, so they decided to build nest. So they asked each other where to build a nest. One of them said, I will make a nest on a tree located in an ashram. My babies will learn good things. The two parrots were choosing their place. That means they were choosing their surroundings where they should build their nest. What one of the parrots said, I will make a nest on a tree located in an ashram. Why the parrot decided to make a nest on a tree located in an ashram? So that the babies can learn good things. And the other one said, and the other parrot said, well, I will make a nest in the garden of that house. Look, the house is so beautiful and so is the garden. Also, there are many guava and chili trees there. My babies will never have problem of food. So, one of the parrot decided to build the nest on a tree located in an ashram because the babies will be able to learn good things. And the other parrot decided to build its nest in the garden of a house. Why? Because the house is so beautiful and the garden is also beautiful. And there are many guava and chili trees so that they can eat. And their babies will never have problem of food. Do you know who lives in that house? People say he is a thief. It does not matter to me, said the other parrot. So, one of the parrots said, who decided to build a nest on a tree in an ashram. The parrot asked to the other parrot, do you know who lives in that house, in that beautiful house? And also the parrot said, people say he is a thief. People used to say the person who lives in that house is a thief. The two chose the trees at two different places and started building their nest. So both of them chose different places, different surroundings to build their nest. Soon after the babies were born to them, they could talk. One day a king who had come to hunt in a forest lost his way. So they built their nest in different places, different surroundings, and soon the babies were born to them. And the babies started talking. The babies could talk. One day what happened? A king came to hunt in a forest. He lost his way. He was very tired and wanted some place to rest for a while. He was riding a horse. So, one day a king who came to the forest for hunting lost his way and he was very tired. And what he wanted? He wanted some place. Why? To take rest for some time. He was riding a horse. As he saw a beautiful house, he decided to stop and ask for some water. When the king entered the garden to go till the door of the house, the baby parrot saw him. He started shouting, rich man, rob him, rob him. The king was surprised. He understood it was not a safe place. He went away from there at once. So, when the king lost his way, he saw a beautiful house and he decided to stop and he decided to ask for some water. When the king entered to the garden and when he went to the beautiful house, the baby parrot saw him. And when the baby parrot saw the king, the baby parrot started shouting, rich man, rob him, rob him." Why the baby parrot started shouting in this way? Because the place where this baby parrot lives was not a good environment. A thief lived in that house. So their surroundings was not proper. So and he started shouting, rich man, rob him, rob him." The king was surprised when he heard the baby parrots saying, rich man, rob him, rob him." He understood it was not a safe place. He went away from there at once. So when the baby parrots started shouting, the king was very surprised and the king understood that the place is not safe. So he went away from there. And after some time, the king reached the ashram where the other parrots, built its nest. The baby parrot saw the king. He started saying sweetly, guest, receive him, help him. The people in the ashram welcomed the king. So, after some time when the king reached the ashram, the baby parrot saw the king and they started saying sweetly, guest, receive him, help him. And also the people who lives in the ashram, they welcomed the king. They also gave him food. And what the king said? The king said, surroundings in which you live affect your behavior. It was then the other parrot realized this truth. He said to his friend, you were right. Very soon he built a new nest in the ashram and started living there with his baby. He had understood how important it was to live in the right surroundings. So, when the king said surroundings in which you live affect your behavior, then the other parrot realized that it is true that the surroundings where we live affect our behavior. As the surrounding was not good for the other parrot. So they started shouting, rich man, rob him, rob him. It was then the other parrot realized this truth. So the other parrot realized the truth that surroundings where you live affect the behavior. So very soon the other parrot who lives in the beautiful house also built a new nest in the ashram, and all the parrots started living there with their babies. And the parrot understood how important it was to live in a right surroundings. So the parrot understood that it is very important to live in a right surroundings to learn a good lesson in life. So dear children, the moral of this story is surroundings affect our behavior. We should choose the right surrounding to live. It is very important to live in the right surroundings. So we should live in right surroundings. Why? Because it affects our behavior. Our behavior will be decided according to the surroundings where we live. The right surroundings will help us develop good habits. So we will be able to develop good habits if we live in right surroundings. The surroundings that are not conducive force a person to develop bad habits that die hard. So if the surroundings is not good, then what happens? It makes person to develop bad habits. We learn bad habits in wrong surroundings. So dear children, I hope you understood about this lesson. Next, let us discuss about the exercises. I request all of you to take out your value education notebook and write it down in your notebook. A. Where did the parrots decide to build their nest? The answer is the parrots decided to build their nest in an ashram and in the garden of a house. One of the parrot decided to build nest in an ashram and the other parrot decided to build a nest in the garden of a house. What was the reason given by each parrot? The reason given by one parrot to build a nest on a tree located in an ashram was to teach its babies learn good things, and the reason by the other parrot to make a nest in the garden of a house was the beautiful house and the garden. So, what was the reason given by each parrot to build a house, to choose their surrounding? The reason was, one parrot gave the reason to build a nest on a tree in an ashram. Why? Why one of the parrot decided to build a nest on a tree located in an ashram? To teach its babies learn good things. And what was the reason given by the other parrot to make a nest in the garden of a house? Why? Why the other parrot decided to make a nest in the garden of a house? What was the reason? The reason was the beautiful house and the garden. See, who lost way in the forest? What was he riding? A king who came to hunt in a forest lost his way. He was riding a horse. So, one day a king came to the forest to hunt and lost his way. He was very tired and he was riding a horse. D. What did the baby parrots say when they saw the king? When they saw the king, the baby parrots who lives in the garden of a house started shouting, rich man, rob him, rob him. And the parrots who lives on a tree in an ashram started saying sweetly, guest, receive him, help him. So, when they saw the king, the baby parrots living in the garden of a house started shouting, rich man, rob him, rob him. Why? Because it was not a good environment where the parrots live. And the parrots who lives on a tree in an ashram, they started saying sweetly, guest, receive him, help him. Why? Because it was the right surrounding to live. What did the other parrots realize? The other parrots realized the truth that surroundings affect the behavior. So, the other parrots who lives in the garden of a house, what the parrot realized? The parrot realized the truth that surrounding affect the behavior. We should choose the right surrounding because the right surroundings will help us develop good habits. Next to take the right answer. A. The two parrots were friends, enemies. The two parrots were friends. Take friends. B. The parrots decide to build their nest at the same different place. The parrots decided to build their nest at the different place. C. Once a king hermit lost his way in the forest. Once a king. Okay? A king lost his way in the forest. D. The king was riding a mule horse. The king was riding a horse. E. Everyone understood the importance of right, wrong surroundings. Everyone understood the importance of right surroundings. It is very important to choose right surroundings because the right surroundings will help us develop good habits and also the surroundings in which we live affect our behavior. Next, discuss and write the following. So this is homework for you. A. You have to write 5 good habits and 5 bad habits. This is homework for you. Complete it and send it to my number within 24 hours. So dear children, I hope you understood about this lesson. Thank you. Have a nice day.